Okay, the next thing that we need to talk about is this one now, which is the types of quadratic function, types of roots, okay, of quadratic equations, okay, which is this one that we are talking about lah. So essentially, there are three different situations. Okay, number one, where the roots are real and different. Number two, the roots are real and equal. And number three is there are no real roots. Okay, I think the easiest way to understand this is to look at the first situation, the real and different roots. Okay, so let's say for example, we have like this case okay, this is the video that we saw just now. Okay, so we have two roots which is x equals to 2 and x equals to -5. Okay, so these are different roots because the numbers are different. Okay, and they are also real because they are actual numbers. Okay, they're not like fake numbers lah, or numbers yang kalau kau tulis dalam calculator kan, it will give you a math error. Those are not real numbers lah. Okay, so it's not real. No, it's not the kind of real that you're thinking about, but it's mathematical real lah. Like it exists, but it's not real. Okay, but essentially all the numbers that we deal with at Form 4, Form 5 level, all these are real numbers. But you need to know that that when we talk about real and different roots, this situation that you see here is what we're talking about. The two different numbers, and both numbers exist. Okay, sometimes you will have a situation where after you factorize, then you get the number x equals to 3 and x equals to 3. So these are real and equal. It's the same kind of roots. Okay, it's not different roots. Okay, and if the numbers don't exist, okay, then we call them no real roots. So the question is, how do we know from a quadratic equation whether there are two real and different roots, or whether there are two roots and equal, or whether there's no real roots? Okay, so how we know this is by finding the value of the discriminant. Okay, this is what is called the discriminant. Okay, the discriminant is very easy, b squared minus 4ac. Remembering once again that the quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So we just take the numbers a, b, and c, okay, and we put it into the discriminant formula, and then we see what's the final number. Okay, take a look at this example. A is 3, B is 8, C is 2. Then we put it into the values. Then we calculate. Then we see, oh, okay, fine. The final number is 40. Then we ask ourselves, is it more than 0? Is it less than 0? Or is it equal to 0? If it is more than 0, then you can conclude that this particular equation has two real and different roots. This is the first thing that you need to know. Okay, because in the next subtopic, this will become more important. Okay, just looking at the value. Okay, when you calculate the total of b squared minus 4ac, the final number will tell you whether it is real and different, whether it's real and equal, or whether there's no real roots. There are only three situations. Okay, so in B, when you calculate, notice A is -1, B is 10, C is -25. You will get the final answer is 0. Ngam equals to 0. If your b squared minus 4ac equals to 0, means two real and equal roots. Okay, and finally in example C, you calculate, you get -19. It's less than 0. The discriminant value is less than 0. So this conclusion that we can come is this particular equation has no real roots. Okay, how this looks like on the graph, we will see in the next subtopic. But for now, I just want you to know how to calculate the discriminant value and how to interpret the discriminant value. Okay, so never ever start your calculation by writing b squared minus 4ac more than 0. And then after that, you go and write 8 squared minus 4 times 3 times 2 more than 0. Ini salah. Ini langkah yang salah. You cannot write more than 0. Because how you know it's more than 0? Okay, you just find the value first. Okay, that's why there's this line over here. Okay, the number 40 is more than 0. Therefore, b squared minus 4ac is more than 0. That's how we do this. Okay, so give these three questions a try. I think it's pretty simple. Okay, but I'm just going to tell you, just to help you lah, the final value, b squared minus 4ac over here is 28. Okay, this one is b squared minus 4ac is negative 24. And this one is b squared minus 4ac is ngam equals to 0. Okay, then tell me, if the b squared minus 4ac is 28, what does that mean? Is it two real different, two real equal, or no real roots? This one you have to interpret for me. Okay, so give this a try. Now, this is the one that I want to answer one by one. Okay, so based on the quadratic equations and the type of roots, find the range of values of k or the value of k itself. Okay, so first of all, you're given this x squared plus 6x plus k minus 2 equals to 0. And then you say that there are no real roots. Okay, now if there are no real roots given, it means that b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. No real roots, that's the condition. Okay, but first let's identify what is a, what is b, what is c. Okay, a is 1. Okay, this is b. Okay, and finally, this whole thing is c. Okay, be careful. Whatever that has no x, that's the one with the c. So let's substitute in 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times k minus 2 is less than 0. Okay, so this will give you 36 minus 4k plus 8 less than 0 minus 4k plus 44 less than 0. I'm going to move the 44 across. Okay, minus 4k less than negative 44. So k will be more than negative 44 over negative 4. K will be more than 11. Okay, at this point, some of you may be asking me, how come suddenly the sign changed over? Okay, it is because of the condition. Remember, you are moving a negative number across to become divide. Let me repeat. You are moving a negative number across to become a divide or to become times the solar. It still applies. When that happens, only a negative number that you're moving across to become divide. Okay, not negative jadi positif. Itu tidak. Negative number you move across sebab kau mau kasih bahagi. When that happens, the symbol must change direction. Okay, this is maths form 3. Okay, number 2. Two real and different roots. If it's different means b squared minus 4ac is more than 0. Okay, now this is our a. This whole thing is our b. Bring the negative number together with you. And this is c. Okay, so b is negative 3, the whole thing squared, minus 4 times k times negative 7 more than 0. Okay, I want to stop for a while to talk about this. Please remember there is a difference. Negative 3 squared is not the same as negative 3, the whole thing squared. Okay, if you don't believe me, go and type in your calculator. There is a difference when you type this in the calculator. That's why you notice that if it's a negative number, I immediately bracket the whole thing and then only I square so that you don't get confused. Okay, so when you have done this, okay, I think this is pretty simple mathematics, not so much this one. So your final answer will be k is more than negative 9 over 28. Okay, just give this a try. I just want to show you how it looks like. Okay, likewise, over here is the same two real and equal roots. If it's equal roots, is b squared minus 4ac is equals to 0. Okay, so when you do this, you will get k equals to 27 over 8. I think this one is also a pretty easy solve. Now, please remember the difference between this question and the question before. The question before is you want to determine the types of roots. So in order for that, you need to find the value of b squared minus 4ac. But in this question, the type of root is already given. So you can start from the whole sentence. Less than 0, more than 0, equals to 0. Okay, I think it's fine either way. Okay, finally, this question, okay, we're going to do this together. No real roots. Okay, Now, no real roots means b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. Okay, let's determine first. This is A, okay, this is B, and this whole thing is C. Sebab tiada huruf X. The whole thing is C. Don't just take the K or the -6. The whole thing is C. Okay, so let's substitute this in. B squared, K squared minus 4 times -3/4 times K minus 6 equals to 0. Okay, now let's slowly do this. K squared. Okay, this one will be cut, so you get plus 3 times K minus 6 equals to 0. Okay, then you get K squared plus 3K minus 18 is, oh, sorry, what did I say equals to 0? Sorry, less than 0. Less than 0. Okay, now this is familiar, okay, because it is a quadratic inequality that we want to solve. Kan? So that's from the previous question. So what do? First, we determine, is the A, is the first number with the squared a positive number? Okay, over here. Yes, it is a positive number, so we can immediately draw the U-shaped graph. Okay, secondly, less than 0 or more than 0? Less than 0 bahkan. So less than 0 means the place where we want to shade is over here. Okay, so now our question is finding these two numbers. So let's factorize this. When you factorize this, you get K plus 6 and K minus 3 less than 0. Okay, so what are my roots? My roots are -6 and 3. So I'm going to put this in lah. -6 over here and 3. Okay, so our final answer, the range of values, okay, is K is in between -6 and 3. Okay, I don't put an equal sign because there is no equal sign in our inequality. So saya kekalkan saja, less begitu. Okay, so this is my final answer. The range of values is -6, sorry, K is in between -6 and 3.